Um, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Offsides. It's just June the 9th today. Uh, how you feeling, June?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good, man. I'll tell you, this rain in Jacksonville, man. It's nonstop, man. It's every day, every day.
It's been raining here. It was raining in Claremont in my parents' house. Like it was raining. I left Florida. I left VA. It was raining. I went to Florida. It was raining. I left Florida. And I'm back in VA. It's raining. It's the worst, man. It just does. I mean, I don't mind it because it cools off. It's supposed to cool off, but
Yeah,
your grass grows like super fast. You know what I mean? Like it's now is like my joint's out of control. I might go out there tomorrow, either first thing in the morning or in the evening time, and get it going. So cut all that stuff down. I got some work to do out there. But yeah, man.
yeah.
First topic, man. We're gonna talk about a lot of stuff. Training camp started already for rookies and veterans this week. Rookies last week, veterans this week. A lot of contract talks, a lot of people sitting out, a lot of people not playing, a lot of people there, but they're not practicing. So a lot of people not even showing up. So we're gonna cover that today, a little bit of that. The first topic, though, Hardball from the Ravens has said Lamar could be one of the goats in football, like eventually, or will be one of the goats in football. I should say. I was hoping James would have been today because I feel like that's his team, that's his quarterback. But I'm gonna ask you, do you think Lamar can reach that status? And if so, what would it take for him to get there?
Well, I'll tell you, man, and it's crazy because I seen that interview that Harbaugh did with the press after the practice or before the practice. Yeah, after
Mhm.
the practice. Yeah. Um, Now I guess you can see his frustration, especially the way that he commented and he defended Lamar. I just think it's complete frustration, especially early in the season.
Mhm.
And um, when he said that after Lamar stops playing, he will be the greatest NFL quarterback, I was just like, well, is he watching the same game we're watching? Not saying Lamar is not good because he is a hell of a player, two-time MVP, and the way that it's going, he's ranked number 5 right now to get the MVP this year. So I think Lamar is gonna do well, but I'm gonna tell you one name that sticks out that's gonna give Lamar a run for his money, bro. And I'm sure you're not gonna disagree, and I'm willing to bet. And his name is C.J. Stroud. Um, I think CJ Stroud is making a crazy, crazy. We'll find out this year,
Yeah, yeah.
but CJ Stroud's name right now, and now with the pieces that he has, I just think he's going to give Lamar a run for that MVP in the AFC. And obviously, you got Mahomes. You can't
Yeah,
knock
yeah. I
Mahomes.
mean, the reason I had a so to me, for Lamar to when he retires to be considered the greatest ever, he would first have to win a Super Bowl, right? And be the first, like we had the conversation on the play call, dual threat quarterback to do it because nobody's ever done it, right? And that style of play, they haven't done it. Even though I feel like recently Lamar has converted more into a pocket passer and run the ball at the same time, but more of a passer over the last year or two than he did before. Um, but I think that's a strong feat, right? And like you said, are you watching the same thing we're watching? So obviously, you turn the tape on. Lamar's great. Some people say, some defenses say Lamar's harder to game plan against than Mahomes. That Lamar's that game changer by himself. You know what I'm saying? We've seen him do a lot with less, and we've seen him do a lot with good weapons, but maybe the play calling or the offensive scheme wasn't designed to benefit. So I forgot who was the guy, Roman, that was there before. They used to like running the ball all the time, Greg Roman. That he had a lot of success with Colin Kaepernick at 49ers. And what Kaepernick used to do, run the ball. And he had an arm on him too. But didn't allow Lamar to start throwing the ball like he needs to throw the ball. And now they got a new offensive coordinator that's doing that. So I think one, he has to win a Super Bowl. If he doesn't win multiple Super Bowls, he's got to win multiple. When I say he has to have at least 6 league MVPs, because Peyton Manning has 5 and Roger has 4. And at least be in the conversation of if of going at least go make it to the AFC Championship consistently type thing. You know,
Yeah.
like in that era of football when you had the Steelers, Colts, Patriots, Chargers, certain teams are always constantly playing for that spot in the AFC, and even the Ravens with their defense, we're always in the mix of something, you know. So he would have to get there. So when I say that, looking at the film, I'm talking more about the lack of success in the postseason.
Right.
I put a picture up where Mark Sanchez has more. What is it? I got it right.
Playoff wins.
Yeah, Mark Sanchez has more playoff wins than Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott, Kyler Murray, Derek Carr, and Kirk Cousins combined. Combined. And with all the talent we have, not forget the NFL. I'm talking about the AFC period at quarterback. Bro, you gotta be outperform. You gotta put fear in people. You know, one thing that Mahomes, one thing that you're gonna do when you play the Chiefs is you're gonna be like, okay, I'm not playing just any team. I'm playing Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and Kelsey. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going up against a juggernaut. Kind of what people say about the Patriots back in the day, or any dynasty that was long living. So until you get to that, I think it's going to be hard for him to um, be considered that. Now,
Right.
um, could he be one of the four? Can he be at the table of great quarterbacks when he's done? Even if he wins one and based on his play, yeah, of course. But be the greatest, I think that's going to be very hard for him to attain that by the end of his career. You know,
Yeah.
first you got to catch up to Mahomes and
Yeah,
Super Bowls first. So,
I think you hit it right in the money. He he's already in the table, right? Based on his play and what he's accomplished as far as MVPs. I think one more MVP will put him in a separate table to be like the first 3-time MVP or something like that.
without the
Quarterback.
Super Bowl,
Just like 3-time MVP as far as player or quarterback or something like that. And I was looking at it earlier and I was just like, dang, that's pretty interesting, right? You know how ESPN, they come with these crazy
yeah. But I was
stats.
gonna say because Favre got 3 MVPs back. He's a triple MVP winner. I think he won it 3 years in a row.
Hmm.
Let me look that up. Let me tell the production team to pull that up. The
Yeah, I
production,
know, right?
right? Let's see. Brett Favre. Um,
Yeah, but it's interesting to go for him to start the season, even if it's minute injury,
mm-hmm.
even season, the damn camp. Um, and if you think back last year, what happened with Joe Burrow in camp? Same exact kind of routine. Hey, Joe
That
Burrow
must,
injured
bro. And
calf.
yep. And
Yeah,
it never healed. But remember, people were saying that it was a soft tissue injuries take longer to heal than others. Thank you. Take longer to heal than the other injuries. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
um we'll see, man. I'm interested to see where he's at. I'm looking up the information right now, bro. I just I thought I found it. I didn't. Let me just ask the more specific question, right?
Yeah, what's his name? Harbaugh kind of went in. He's like, what does he have to do? What else does he have to do to prove that he's what he's done? And don't get me wrong, with that comment and that statement, I agree. Like I think the critics are nitpicking instead of giving him his flowers for everything that he's done so far. And now let's just watch his play and watch it unfold. Because let me tell you what's not getting easier, bro. It's not even his career. It's his competition. As you can see, look at all the off season so far. That right there, Lamar could be as great as he is. However, he still has a team that has to help him, get that Super Bowl ring, and they have to compete with the Texans, with shit, man. Who else is in his division?
Well, his division, the North, is the tight one. You got the Bengals,
Right.
and Browns and them. So that's the hardest division in football right now. And Favre won it 95 to 97, bro. 3 years in a row. 95, 96, 97. And one of those years he won a Super Bowl. So, I mean, that's why I said earlier, the competition alone is crazy. Because in the North, you got Burrow. When he's healthy, a healthy Burrow is a Super Bowl and an AFC championship.
Right.
Steelers, they win every year. They just don't go to the playoffs. Or if they go to playoffs, they're not winning. But they have winning records. The Browns, that defense, and if you get a Deshaun Watson that could play at least at 75 to 80% of what he used to be, that could be a problem. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the competition's there. Then you go to the South, got the Texans with CJ Stroud. Let's put Trevor and the Jags in there, Titans and Colts, they're there. But the two top ones are Texans and Jags. In the West, you got the Chiefs. You got the Chargers now with Harbaugh and Herbo, the Raiders, and there's one more that I'm missing on the West. Jesus, can't believe I'm forgetting this.
Jesus is not playing.
You said what?
Jesus is not playing.
He should be. They win all the Super Bowls.
Oh my! You imagine?
All right.
You're so wrong.
Yeah, for real. He would have to lose some just to make it look good. Let me go to teams. Okay. So the South, the West, we got the Broncos. So Broncos are rebuilding, but you still got the Chiefs. And then if you go to the East, you got the Bills, Dolphins, Patriots ain't doing much, and Jets, we don't know what's gonna happen. But you got strong competition in your own division. So to say that, I don't know, man. I'm not saying that he's not a good quarterback. I think he's a great quarterback. Okay. And he has kind of choked in the postseason. But I mean, that's what happened when you got pressure. I think there's he takes a lot of that pressure on. You know what I'm saying? I think he plays with that. I think some of these players listen to the noise instead of drowning it out, and going out there and performing, man. And performing. So while we on the AFC, let's go switch over to Tua is at camp. Do you think he should be out there practicing without a new deal?
I'll tell you, man, it really shows a lot about Tua by he being out there without a new deal. Because don't get me wrong, bro. You know what this shows? Exactly what we spoke about before. He's playing because he has a contract, bro. And he's playing, you know what I mean? Like you and I are believers of that. If you have a contract, yeah, you can negotiate your last year, bro. And I'm with it. But I don't know, man. I like it. You know what I mean? I think if he's doing it for the right reasons, he will set the standard, and is going to compete against the decisions that the CD Lamb, $17.99 million is not enough for me to come back and play. Is going to compete against Trent Williams from the 49ers. $20 million to come back and play this season is not good enough for me. So restructure my shit. IU, little difference, but he's still getting $14 million, this year. I mean, we're talking what you're getting paid per the contract that you signed. And if he's doing it for those reasons, man, I applaud him for it. And if he eventually he knows it's gonna pan out, it's gonna play out in his favor, and he's not getting hit. So, as long as it's non-contact practices, we're good money.
Yeah, with non-contact. But what if there's contact? Remember, he gets one concussion, he's not playing. He's out for weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're not touching that, man. You know that. Know that.
But my thing is, and I agree. I agree because of how you and I see things is if you're still under contract, whether you got a year left on that contract or 6 months, you're still under contract, then you show up and play. You report. Because you still the obligation is the contract you sign saying I'm gonna play for X amount of years. If I'm your coach, I'm the GM of Taino football, right? And I come to you as a quarterback and I say, hey, I'm gonna sign you for an extra, I'm gonna give you a 3-year extension, 160 mil, whatever, guaranteed. At year 2 of that extension, you shouldn't be coming back to me saying, yo, I want to restructure.
Right.
Now, you can come and say, hey, Frank, listen, bro. Last year I took this hometown discount, but my number's been good. We've been in the playoffs, been to at the Super Bowl, whatever. I want money. Now, that's not the case for Tua. I'm making you look better as a quarterback. What I'm saying is, though, some of these quarterbacks are demanding certain things that they haven't, in my opinion, haven't even attained yet, but you're only doing it because you're the next to get paid and you're still in the contract. No, if I was these guys, I would change that. You can start negotiation, but you can't sit out. You can't, you got to show up. And if you show up, in my opinion, if you don't show up and play, it should be forfeited that last year. If you don't report by a certain day, I know if you don't report by a certain day, there is consequences, but I don't know how grave that consequences are if these players are willing to sit out and not this thing. But Tua's doing right. In my opinion, he's showing up and he's practicing. He's doing what he got to do. And showing the team, look, I'm here. And I don't think Tua wants to be the highest paid quarterback. I think Tua's fine with a
Right.
contract. He doesn't have to get the 55 million a year. I don't think he wants that. I think he just wants to play, man. I think that the guy did what he had to do to get better in the offseason last summer. Came back. They had a good season. He didn't get no concussion. So no, I think he's doing good. I think he's doing good. Now, well, no, that's a stupid question because who the hell the Dolphins are going to start if they don't start him? So,
But I mean, think about it though. I think this works so much into their benefit. Let's say CD Lamb says, you know what, I'm gonna give you a fair warning because I think I deserve to give you a fair warning based off my play. If I'm CD Lamb, if I'm saying, hey, you know what, owner Frank, you don't want to renew my contract, and that's okay. But after this season, I just want to let you know I'm a free agent. Mm-hmm. And you could offer me $1 million more than the Eagles, and I'm gonna go take that pick, and I'm gonna go play for the Eagles. So I'm just telling you what's on the table after this year. I'm gonna play my last year because I'm under contract. But if you don't reconstruct my contract and extend me, then this is what you're playing with. So now you're being fair and you're speaking your mind based off your play, and I think it'll play positive volumes on their end if they do it right. But I think the way they go about it, I think it's just so wrong.
So being that you brought it up, let's combine these two topics, right, together, and or three topics because it's Tua. I got Trent Williams, and then we're talking about CeeDee Lamb. So let's combine them. So we already said Tua is, in our opinion, he's doing the right thing by going out there, showing up, practicing, showing the team, look, I'm here. On the other hand, you got Trent Williams, who's not even at camp, wants an extension. CeeDee Lamb, I think he's not even reporting, or if he's not reporting. He's not reporting. He's not even there and wants money. Now with Trent Williams, when he's on the offensive line as left tackle, they're 19-3 with him, but they're 1-2 without him. So let's start with the 49ers. You got the Brandon Ayuk wanting some money. You got Purdy coming up next year with his contract, and you got your left tackle that when he's in the game, you're 19-3. Arguably the greatest left tackle in the game right now. Who do you pay first?
And that's out of those three right there, right?
Well, let's stick to the 49ers. Let's go 49ers because CeeDee Lamb, I'm going to get to that. The reason I put the record in there for Trent Williams is because it lets you know how important he is to the team. You see what I'm saying? If you lose him, where does that leave your offense right now, starting the season? Remember, for them, every team is Super Bowl bust. But let's be realistic. Not every team is going to make it to the playoffs.
Right.
But for the 49ers, we need to win. And they're going into a season with Ayuk still has a contract, but not happy with it. And now your left tackle saying, hey, guess what? I want money and I'm not reporting until I get it. But he can flex that, right? Because he can sit there and say, all right, look, 49ers, Lynch, don't pay me. Where were you at when you didn't pay me? 1-2. But when I'm in the game and I'm starting, you guys are 19-3.
You know, I mean, to me, I think the obvious say is sign him because of what he's done and he's proven.
Mm-hmm.
But then it goes back to, and I'm trying to leave my belief out of it, but it goes right back into what type of precedents are we setting as an organization, where you could just come up if you're not happy, this is what's going to happen, and we got to pay you because that's the type of organization that we're going to be from here on out. Because then now if they pay him, then they're not going to sign. To me, I don't think they're going to hire you. There's no way.
Mm.
But I mean, his position to me is a little bit more, I don't know, more valuable, so to speak. You're not going to find tackles like him everywhere, and as proven as he is. So, but now you got to think. I mean, how old is he? How many years he got left in the tank? And are you willing to risk? Let me pay IU because he's a little bit younger. He's going to give me more for the buck, for the bang, and still have money to possibly sign somebody else to fill Trent Williams' position. Then pay Trent Williams because we're going to find his ass anyway, and we're going to get some of the money back.
See, and that's why I feel we have the that's where the dilemma for Ayuk is going to come in, right? Because I'm paying Trent Williams. I don't have a mobile quarterback. I mean, yes, he scrambled for some few first downs last year in the playoffs, and he can move out the pocket when he has to. But he's not Hurts, he's not Lamar, he's not Fields. You know, he's not one of these guys that is going to get you out the pocket and kill you with his legs. So I need protection for him. So I'm going to have to sign Trent. But this goes back to the conversation that we've had on this podcast and the play call when we say these people want the money for something, but are they worth the money they're asking for? See, I think like when you have data or statistics that prove, look, without me, you ain't going nowhere. With me,
Right.
you're going somewhere, but without me, you're not going anywhere. Ayuk is like what the third best weapon on his team. Well, he's the third option. Where maybe somewhere else he's a wide receiver one, right? I'm not saying that he's a slouch because he has over 1,000 yards, over 100. I think, yeah, over 1,000 yards. And he does that with less targets because he's not the primary weapon. What I would say, the 49ers messed up. I would have traded him. I would have traded him before the draft and got the picks and the money, right? Because not because it's my team, but the Patriots offered him a second round pick and we're going to pay him the 28 mil he wants. And for whatever reason, they're not even in the same division, the same conference. Hell, the Patriots ain't doing nothing. Even if we had IU, it's not going to instantly make us contenders to win the East. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So why not trade him? I could see maybe Pittsburgh because you think, well, damn, you give Pittsburgh IU, and now they got, oh boy, what is it, Wilson over there, or no, Pickett.
Mm-hmm.
They got Pickens, George Pickens, and then you got whoever else they got over there. I forgot who else they got, and now you have all these weapons, and if Russell shows up with 70% of who he is with a great defense, that might put him in a contention to win. But the other side is not doing nothing. But you didn't get rid of him. And now, I mean, I feel this is how I also feel about with the Trent Williams thing. I know you got to be selfish, but it doesn't really come off as a team player. You already know the wide receiver's trying to get paid, and now you're gonna hold out. You know the team can't afford to pay both y'all this year.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Then you're gonna hold out. So I agree with you. I signed Trent Williams to protect my quarterback. I probably would try to trade. I think you could still get some good stuff for Ayuk right now.
It's crazy for Ayuk, man. So he's seeking 20 million, right?
Yeah, I think so. Or 28,
Seeking
something like
20
that.
million. He's seeking a lot. But
Well, I think it's
but
20 million. He wants Justin Jefferson money. He wants that kind of money. He feels like I think 20 mil is fine.
I think 20 mils legit. I don't think he's Jefferson material. Like, I don't think that you can compare. I think that Jefferson, Jamar Chase, AJ Brown, I think they're a whole different levels. And Ayuk is really good, but he's not in their level. I don't think he is. I
but we
think he's
haven't
really
seen
good.
it. We haven't seen it. But remember, the offense don't allow it.
Right. But that's why, because we haven't seen it, I can't pay you what you're asking me for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only fair. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying you can't produce it, but if they're showing me their numbers based on what they've shown, then I have to pay what they've shown. I can't pay you for something you haven't shown me yet. I know you're good, but I don't know if you're that good yet. And that's that. It's kind of crazy. And speaking about you, I mean, how do you feel that he shows up to practice, kind of manipulates the whole not getting fined thing? He shows up to camp, so he won't get fined. However, he chooses not to practice. He's just there with a white tee, sunglasses, and shorts.
But that's a flaw in the law, in the rules, right? Because that's the loophole. Jamar Chase is doing the same thing. Jamar Chase is sitting there holding out. But he's holding in because he's at camp. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's not to lose money. That's not to lose money. And look, at least you're there. Right? At least you're there. You, as much as you and I like for people to stick to the contract, stand on business. You signed this contract. This piece of paper is yours, has your name on it. You sit and you're on your rookie deal. That's another thing that Ayuk, unlike Trent Williams, unlike other people, he's on his rookie deal trying to get paid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
See,
so this is first big contract. It's first big bag he's about to get. So
it sucks, man, because I get what you're saying, bro, and I am 100% all in it. But if I'm that rookie and if I'm that sophomore, and I'm like, oh man, and we're bust. It's 100 degrees out there. We're busting our asses off, trying to play as a team and get better. But you're getting paid $14 million, and you have the balls to just sit there and just watch me give it all. Is that my goal? Like, damn, as a rookie, but that's going to be my goal. 4 years from now, I'm going to sit out if I don't get my damn contract. And that's what I'm talking about as far as setting that precedence as an organization. My guy, don't even show up. Because, as a matter of fact, sit behind. If you're going to show up and hold in, there's a fence, and the fence is all screened out. There's a bench out there. At least, what country are you here? Are you present or over there?
Yeah,
like, they'll do it like, cool. Because I think it's just showing a whole different type of it's a whole type of that teammate. You're being a whole different teammate, man. And I think it could show some type of locker room feud.
No, it can, and it's already started with. Remember, Jawan Jennings tweeted out something like, "You making it seem like it's all you by yourself." The problem that I have with so yeah, I agree. Show up. To avoid the fine, that's the loophole. And I don't agree with not practicing. But again, what is the league gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like your kids are gonna do what you allow them to do. Your sailors are gonna do what you allow them to do. Your students are gonna do what you allow them to do. And if there's a loophole in there, they're gonna find it and use it. Well, to not get fined, I'm at camp, but I'm not practicing until I get my money. To me, and I know there's probably people out there don't agree or wouldn't agree. I know it's a business, but I'm also, if you don't want to be here no more, then I'm gonna get rid of you. And the reason I'm gonna get rid of you is because what I want is people that's gonna want to weather this storm with us, that's gonna be here throughout it. We saw a lot of wide receivers, well, a lot of players, not just in football, but in basketball and other team sports, where they've stayed with a team that was struggling out of the love for the team. You see what I'm saying? For the city. I don't always agree with that. I don't always agree. If your contract's up and you want to go, go. What I have a problem with is while your contract is still valid, you don't want to play. And you're right. That's what I was trying to say, team, when I brought up the fact that Trent Williams knows Ayuk is trying to get paid, and Trent Williams knows that he's gonna command a high salary as a left tackle. Is that enough money to get this wide receiver paid?
Right.
Now, at that point, I don't think Trent Williams has a Super Bowl ring. I could be wrong. Let me get production to look this up. But the point is, what are you chasing again? Are you chasing money or Super Bowls? You know what I'm saying? Nope, he hasn't won a Super Bowl. He's a 11-time Pro Bowl and a 3-time All Pro. He started with the Commanders and then went to the 49ers. So, um, you know, I get it. He's trying to get that money. He's getting older. It's not like he's gonna get any younger to play. That position is kind of hard too after a while. So I don't know, man. I think so his contract runs through 2026, Trent Williams. And he's no longer satisfied with the terms of that deal. That's why he's not at camp. So that's even worse, bro. This dude got 2 more years on his contract. And yet he's not satisfied with it and wants more money. So I don't know. But, if I had to pay one, I'm going to pay the line. I'm going to pay the left tackle. Go from there. So now we covered the 49ers. Let's go to CeeDee Lamb. Not paid. Should the Cowboys finalize a deal with him? And does he deserve the Justin Jefferson money?
Yes. Hold on, are you asking does he deserve Justin Jefferson money?
Yeah.
100%. I think he's proven. I personally think he is. I mean, at one point or another, see, it kind of sucks, man, because he stepped up, dude. I think CeeDee Lamb is the go-to. CeeDee Lamb reminds me of a Justin Jefferson over there. Given the fact that Gallup was supposed to be that strong number 2 after that surgery, just didn't pan out. He stepped up, bro. And the Cowboys did not succeed, but it wasn't because of him. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah. So I'm looking at his numbers, man. 4 years in the league right now. First year, he had 111 targets, 74 receptions, 934 yards. Second year, 120 targets, 79 receptions, 1,100 yards. Third year, 156 targets, 107 receptions, 1,359 yards. Fourth year, 181 targets. He caught 135 of those for 1,749 yards, bro. And each year he's gotten better. 5 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns, 9 touchdowns, 12 touchdowns. His average yards per catch or reception is roughly 12 to 13 yards.
Bro, if I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm there to watch CeeDee Lamb. I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It ain't Dak. It ain't I don't even know what the damn tight end is. It ain't definitely ain't Elliott. So regardless of the tenure that Dak has there, I personally believe that when it comes to the youth and when it comes to the explosiveness and being proven at a position, I think 110% of the vote goes to CeeDee Lamb. And it's kind of crazy because I would say I'd rather pay CeeDee Lamb than Ayuk, since we just talked about Ayuk. I'd rather pay CeeDee Lamb immediately. I wouldn't even talk about if CeeDee Lamb was as proven as he is. Ayuk is not even in the conversation.
I agree. You swayed my vote there. I didn't see it that way. I knew he's a beast for the Cowboys. I just didn't see the numbers like that. And when I'm seeing the numbers, I'm like, wow, this guy almost had 2,000 yards reception. We was talking about Tyreek Hill last year breaking the 2,000 yards. This guy was only, 200 and some yards away from that? That's 2 games for him. That's, in a sense, that's 2 good games and maybe a third rough one, and he beats the record, and he's got 2,000 receptions. 2,000 yards. And he's only gotten better. I mean, 135 receptions out of 180 attempts is crazy.
It is. It's insane, man.
It's crazy. So I would have definitely paid him. I think the problem that the Cowboys are running into is they don't know what the problem is. Right?
Now, what if you put Ayuk on the other side of this guy of CeeDee Lamb? I think that becomes a real problem.
I think so too, but what about the quarterback?
That's another problem.
You see what I'm saying?
That's a real problem.
When I say, I was watching Speak before you got on, and they were talking about it, and James Jones, a very big McCarthy fan. He won a Super Bowl with him. So he defends him kind of like, Shady defends Andy Reid. And I get there was a topic when they were saying maybe the head coach tells the quarterback to slide or whatever he said there. And James got up and walked off the thing because it's like, what you mean, the coach? This is a veteran player. We're not talking about a rookie. We're not talking about Purdy. We're not talking about CJ Stroud. We're talking about a rookie. We're talking about a veteran quarterback that's at the position. You should not have to tell him, be mindful of the time and slide or whatever it was he should have did. That's not on the head coach. You see what I'm saying? So going back to them, if you don't pay CeeDee, you got the head coach who's went back. He's had 3 seasons of 12 wins, right? We praise Tomlin for never having a losing season. This guy has 3 seasons of 12 wins consecutively. You give him CeeDee Lamb, which you already showed the numbers. We read the numbers out loud. He's a killer. He's a monster. But the problem here, I don't think is the coach or the receiver. I think is the quarterback. On the offense, I think he hasn't shown up in the time that he needed to show up. In the regular season, man, the dude's great. But when it comes to the playoffs, it's either the lights are too bright or the pressure's too much on him. But he doesn't show up, and I don't think CeeDee's a problem. So I'll definitely pay CeeDee. And after this year, I move off from Dak. I go find me a quarterback. Listen, Russell's sitting there, and they told me he's not practicing because he got a calf muscle, and they started Justin Fields, which I think that's all a gimmick to get Russell out and put Justin Fields in. But that's just me. It was too good to be true to have Russell over there trying to do good. But hey, listen, they ain't paying nothing for him. I'll go get him.
Yeah.
I'll get him. So, June, this is your boy, man. Jalen Hurts, to kind of sum it up, say he was having problems with Kellen Moore and the communication, the talk, the words, the playbook, stuff like that. But the wide receivers saying they love Kellen Moore. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. What do you make of that? Do you think that the lack of the way they felt at the press conference was like he was putting out the disclaimer now, setting up in case they don't do good, he can say, listen, it was a new playbook and I couldn't get I didn't understand what the coach was trying to tell me. Your team, bro, your quarterback. How do you feel about it?
Man, and I briefly talked about it either the last episode or one before that we recorded. That my main concern was that Kellen Moore play calls and what has happened when he has left the other teams that he's been a OC or a quarterback coach for. And I was reading something today, and they said every quarterback has gotten better every time the Kellen Moore leaves, right? And that's an interesting comment. But also, again, it goes right back to my concern. And I was reading the first day of camp, and Jalen Hurts did very well. There was no issues. His accuracy was on point, and he only had one. He only had one pass that was deflected. Not even deflected. It wasn't caught. It was a drop ball based on the receiver. I don't know. I think I'll let the camp unfold and see if he still feels like that mid to the end of the camp and really justify my concern. But I don't know, man. I'm kind of excited for it. You know what I mean? It's different. It's really different, and the receivers love it because they're getting the ball more. So where does Barkley come into play? Right, that's the big question. Because they're paying him a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
And if I'm using the Giants quote, we're paying him a whole lot of money, and it ain't just to throw through receivers. In
Mm-hmm.
this case, that was flipped around. I don't know, man. It's Hurts. Hurts is not a dramatic guy, and he doesn't voice his opinion. He keeps a lot of that stuff in the organization. That's a professional. That's a professional good trait to have.
Yeah.
Uh, but uh, but hopefully that's not the case. Moving forward and closing the camp.
But no, I think so. It's concerning to me because, like they said, every quarterback that he's had has gotten better after he left. That
Mm-hmm.
Prescott's numbers were up in interceptions when he was there. After he left, they went down. McCarthy changed that. I forgot who he was with before the Cowboys or after the Cowboys, but it was the same thing. Numbers was up for interceptions, and after he left, they got better.
It was the Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers. So then you have Hurts, whose numbers went up last year in interceptions and turnovers, and you putting him in there with this guy, and then he's talking about the communication, the language, the plays, stuff like that. What I don't want is because Philly's been winning, so
Right.
there's that pressure. You know what I'm saying? And then you went to a Super Bowl already. That's the highest you can reach. You didn't win. Now all you want to do is get back to win. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You guys won a Super Bowl, so now you know what it tastes like. It's like, okay, we want to go back and win, and your prime is now. Because you have the
Mm-hmm.
team to do it. What I don't want is to put that pressure on yourself to try to have to win and prove the doubters wrong. Because you got doubters out there. I like Jalen. Jalen's not a cocky quarterback. I like how he carries himself, his presentation. I like when he plays. But like we said in the Super Bowl, he outplayed Mahomes. Him losing wasn't on him per se. There was many ways the team could have put the Chiefs away. Um, but I just don't want this to come off like if you guys struggle this year, it's like, oh well, he didn't, you know, he wasn't understanding the playbook. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, hopefully him and Kellen Moore can match up. And to answer your question about Saquon, well, can Saquon catch the ball out the backfield? Then he can. So that's why they brought him in. It was the closest thing to McCaffrey without being McCaffrey. I think Swift was a better, younger running back, and I think when Swift was in the game for you guys was great. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe he matches up. One thing I've learned from watching Hard Knocks with the Giants is how the GM and the head coach and the OC and the DC get ready for the draft and the offseason and free agency. You know? So, never know. Maybe Kellen Moore and everybody needs their Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes, right? And Peyton Manning. All these head coaches that we praise them because of who they had under center that made them help them win. And sometimes look at Andy Reid. Andy Reid's a great head coach, but wasn't winning until he got Patrick Mahomes, right? Sometimes you
Right.
find that right one that's going to set it off for you and get you going in the right direction. And maybe that's it. For Kellen Moore is maybe that type of player. But if you said, hopefully the accuracy continues, and that's the biggest problem, right? As a quarterback, is not having good accuracy. So maybe, this is going to get him in the right direction and push him to propel higher.
Right.
Um, so the last topic I got, man, unless you got something else, is Rodgers was voted number 92 in the top 100. And, I have a problem with that.
I know you do.
I have a problem with that. He didn't play.
Yeah. I knew it. I knew you were gonna go
He
there.
didn't play. And we're not talking about the top 100 players of all time. We're talking about the top 100 players of last year.
Right.
So do you think he should have been on the list?
Man, it sucks, man, because I would say yeah, man. The only reason I'm gonna say yes is because um I wouldn't say he's declined massively, aside from that surgery. I mean from that injury. But I would say I think he's right where now, if he would have been ranked number 16, number 20, if he would have been ranked a lot lower, then I would have had an issue with that. But for the rank that he's for the fact that he's ranked so high, I am okay with that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like
No, I know, but that's horse shit, bro.
I know,
Think
man. I
about it, man.
know.
You saying because he was in the top 20, I'm okay with it. He was in the bottom 10, bottom 5, I'm okay with it. Bottom 10. No, he didn't play.
I know, but I mean, who?
He
What?
took but 4 snaps, and that was it. Four minutes of play, and that was it.
Achilles rupture.
So what, June? June, you telling me that out of the hundreds of players that start in the NFL every day, that there couldn't have been one player out there at any position that he couldn't.
Look, he's a Super Bowl winning QB, multiple MVPs, a great history as far
June,
as
those are
being.
past accomplishments, June. That's not, again, we're
And,
not talking
and,
about top 100 players
and,
all time. We're talking about the
yeah.
top 100 players of last season.
Oh, I thought you meant like start going into this year. That's where they. Uh, nah, man. It's impossible to say that I'm okay with that because he didn't play. Now, if you're talking about like where he's ranking at right now as top 100 players going into the season,
No, no, no.
not just on one last year. Oh, then no, hell no. It's not fair.
No, it's based off last year. It's based off last year.
I mean, he did. I mean, he probably carried the shit out that flag. I mean, no, I ain't never seen a football player run with a flag that fast,
Shut up,
and
June.
that's probably what constituted that, man. Yeah,
No, like, hey, that dude, when I saw that, and I'm watching the top 100 on NFL Network, on NFL.com, I like watching it. I do. And I think it's dope because it's the only one that voted by the players. So your peers are voting you into that spot. And I think it says a lot. Even if you're number 100 to be considered that out of, you got to think, it's a 53-man roster. So within 2 teams, you already got 100 players,
right.
you know? So to be in the top 100 of anything that has more than 500 players, it's huge. So I think I always watch it for that reason. And honestly, I think that being voted number 1 by those players is more valuable than being.
Who was number one? Who was top five? Do you know?
I don't think it's out yet. Hold on, let me see. I don't think it's out yet. I think they do a set every day. Um, Sometimes I just look for the top 5, top 10. Trevor, I'll tell you right now what I've seen so far. Let me go to the app, bro. I got it right here on my device. You had some good players in the bottom 10, it's been, I'm on 80 something right now. It's like 3-minute clips per person. It's pretty cool. But I'm watching on my iPad and just like when I watch 88, instead of going to 87, it goes to 89. I don't understand when I already watched 89. Um, Let me see. Hold on, man. I'll tell you right now. So the first 10 at 100, you got Zaire Franklin, Levante David at 99, Cameron Hayward at 98, Terry McLaurin at 97, Deion Dawkins at 96, Julian Love at 95, Trevor's 94, Harrison Smith at 93, Aaron Rodgers 92, and Tariq Woolen is 91. So, and then Devontae Smith is 90. So that's your bottom 10. Buda Baker's 89. Chris Lindstrom is 88. Hassan Reddick is 87. Saquon's 86. Tristan Wirfs is 85. DK Metcalf is 84. Derwin James 83. Montez Sweat 82. And Kirk Cousins 81. Those are the bottom 20.
Mm.
So I'm a continue watching it. We ain't even talk about your boy Hassan Reddick not even showing up to the Jets camp.
Yeah,
Like
no.
this
Yeah.
dude's chilling.
They're proud now.
But the difference is he doesn't have a contract, right? They were going to negotiate his new contract. Or he's
Right.
contract.
No, he wasn't his last year.
He wasn't
He
his
was still
last.
he was still making a lot of money though.
Yeah, we could talk about that next week. It's not that. I'm tired of talking about these guys holding out, man. But yeah, I'm gonna finish watching the top 100. So right now they only got up to 61.
Okay.
Yeah, up to 61. So I guess every day, every week they're coming out with a new number. But hey man, anything you want to say or add to this before we close it out?
Yeah. I was gonna ask you. It was funny. I was listening to Adam Schefter earlier, and Scheffner. So he said, he goes, "There's three people that got one thing in common in Pittsburgh, right?"
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna ask you before I say it. So you got Justin Fields, you have Russell Wilson, and you have their OC, their offensive coordinator. That used to be the offensive coordinator for the Falcons. So what do all three of those have in common?
So Russell, Justin, and the OC from that was on the Falcons, what's they all have in common?
Yeah.
They all play in the NFC.
Okay. All right. You ready? All three of them were fired, right?
Okay.
And Adam Schefter said that, right? It had me thinking, like, man, where's he going with this? This is pretty interesting. But man, he be making some interesting points. And all three were fired. So all three are playing for their tenure, their position in the NFL to solidify after this year,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it was brought up based on the competitive competition between Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. And then he said, well, don't forget about the OC because he has to make this work with one of them.
With that, yeah.
And I just thought it was an interesting topic, man. And with that being a fact, do you think that's going to play a big factor when it comes to the the play calling or who they start? I mean, shoot, oh, buddy woke up before practice with a calf, with a sore calf.
I think any other team, I say yes, it would be a problem. The reason I don't think it'd be a problem here is because, for one, the head coach. I think he's a
Right.
good head coach. I think he knows how to manage not only his coaches but his players. I think the expectation here is simple: just win. Get the winning record, keep the winning record going. And Russell has a little bit more. Shouldn't say little. Russell has a lot more attributes that an OC can use than Justin Fields. Justin Fields first needs to get his accuracy better, get his passing under control. And I think Russell can help with that, as far as watching him. But then I just saw that pass today. Yeah, I know it's practice and I know it's no contact, and that Justin Field threw the ball. And you saw me put in the chat, man. Let's see what he does with the offensive line. That's another thing too, is both these guys are going to a team that is significantly better on paper and ran better than their two previous organizations.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think I to answer your question, I don't think it would be a lot of pressure, but I could understand what you're saying. And if you had to, I would say the OC gets a pass.
Mm,
And you want to know why? I'm
that's
gonna say why.
interesting.
Because look who you got under center. Russell Wilson, who people say in Denver, he screwed up his Hall of Fame career. And Justin Fields, who people think, oh, but he came from Ohio. That's the only reason he was good. They have good wide receivers over there. And he's coming from the Bears. So, and nobody's really expecting these guys to go out there and kill it. So even if he doesn't do nothing this year, he can always be like, well, look, man, Look who I had working with. Look who I had under center. Nobody. So, um, I don't think he has the pressure. I think really more. I think if we're gonna pick a person that has a make or break or something, it's Russell, man. And Russell can't go out there and win and keep the starting job. Russell will be a backup quarterback in the league. Russell would have to really consider retiring.
You have to remember that this is the same OC that did not want to draft Justin Fields because he said he wasn't going to be a good quarterback in the NFL.
Mm.
And by him saying that, now it brings that crazy type of understanding. Like, all right, is he past that? Which I hope he is. I mean, he has no choice. So I just think with all that being in play, man, I think it was pretty interesting earlier, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what, this is a good thought-provoking
Yeah, put it in
question.
the notes, man, so I could add it to the comments when I'm done. But yeah, I think I'm. But the thing with people look, nobody thought C.J. Stroud was going to be C.J. Stroud, another Ohio quarterback. They thought he was going to come out here and be like the rest of these Ohio quarterbacks that don't do anything.
Right.
And look at C.J. Stroud. But
Yeah.
he's not really a dual threat quarterback. He's actually like a quarterback in the pocket. His football IQ is crazy. So I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. But again, I still think Russell's the prop. I think Russell has the more to lose. Justin Fields young, man. Even if it's a new year, they're always gonna make the excuse. But the guy that has a Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl ring, is never gonna get that leeway. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna get it, man. So we'll see. But I'm excited, man. You know what? Well, we're like less than 6, 7 weeks away.
Yep.
So, we're looking at that. And pretty soon, man, we're gonna be enjoying football and discussing games and who's winning. So we'll go from there, man. But if you ain't got nothing else and I ain't got nothing else, you want to say some closing remarks?
Nah, man, I know Pete and James have stuff going on. Um so we held it down, man. It's cool. This will be your first full season without the Navy, right? Like
Yeah.
first Chief season. Yeah, yeah. So the season's gonna be around the corner. I'm pretty sure you'll still be involved somehow.
No, I'm not, bro.
Somehow, bro. I'm telling you, it may be just a phone call,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah. I'm gonna send some people some anchors that I know are up for Chief. I don't know if they made it or not, obviously, but I'm gonna send it out to them. I'm gonna do that.
yeah,
See, you know what? I might do that tomorrow or Saturday.
yeah. So it'll be a different feeling for you, bro, because this will be your first full season without the season that you act. So we'll talk about that later on. But yeah, man, hey, good topics. We'll see how the camps continue to unfold. I'm kind of curious. We didn't talk about it earlier, but about how that one guy, I don't even know his name, how he ran up on Dalton.
Oh, the thing you put in the chat, right?
Yeah. I'm still kind of curious about that. I'll read up on it after
Yeah, maybe we
this.
can look about it and talk about it next week. We're gonna need
Yeah,
stuff to talk about because there ain't much going on anyway.
yeah. And I can see, how it is, man. All these players, they come in there with all that frustration, but somebody said it. At the end of the day, bro, you're in the same team,
Mhm.
and you doing that, bro. You could because when he hit him, he fell down.
Yeah.
So what if he would have broke his ankle? And that's just saying, yeah. But
No,
what
no,
if he
no.
would
You're right. You're right. You gotta be careful because this is
have clicked
you're trying
on?
to get people. There's a guy right now from the Vikings. I forgot his name. The cornerback. Torn Achilles. First day of practice.
Wow, done.
Out for the year. So we'll see,
Wow.
man. But anyway, next week we'll have more topics, man. Hopefully everybody's on here. If not, offsides, we always hold it down. Whether it's 2 people, 3 or 4, we're gonna give you the best show we can give you with topics that worth discussing. Until next week, don't forget like, share, subscribe, and thanks for listening to Offsides Podcast, man. Until next week.
Peace.
Yo.